The Underground Railroad. Wizards, the Underground Railroad was not underground, and it was not a railroad. What was it? It was an informal network of secret routes and safe houses used by escaping slaves. People involved in the Underground Railroad used railroading terms so that they would not be found out. The homes and businesses where fugitives would rest and eat were called stations and were run by station masters. The conductor was responsible for moving fugitives from one station to the next. The Underground Railroad consists of meeting points, secret routes, transport, and safe houses. The Underground Railroad was not run by any single organization or person. Rather, it consisted of many individuals. People who supported the abolitionist movement helped the slaves. Conductors on the railroad came from the various backgrounds and included black people who were not slaves. Whole abolitionists, farmers, slaves, and indigenous Americans. The stations were people's homes, church, bands, shops, and shacks. Now, wizards, let's look at Harriet Tubman, slave who escaped to freedom and helped other slaves to escape. Harriet Tubman was born into slavery on a plantation in the American South. Her ancestors had been brought to America from Africa during the first half of the 18th century. In 1849, she ran away from the plantation in the middle of the night. She bravely followed the North Star to free land in Pennsylvania. As a slave, Harriet suffered many hardships. She was regularly beaten and whipped. At the age of 12, while working the fields, she was hit on the head with a piece of iron, and the injury affected her for the rest of her life. At the age of 25, Harriet married John Tubman, a free black American. She dreamed of going north where she would be free, but her husband did not want to move. Harriet decided to leave her husband. She asked for the help of the Underground Railroad and decided to escape to the north. After her escape, Harriet soon realized how alone she was. Now let's also look at the story of John Brown and his mission to abolish slavery. John Brown was an abolitionist who encouraged slaves to rebel against their owners. He killed slave-owning settlers in Kansas and in 1859 was hanged by Virginia for leading an unsuccessful slave rebellion. Harper's Ferry. Brown's speeches were read all over America. Historians agree that the Harper's Ferry raid in 1859 increased the tension between the northern and southern states in America, and that this led to the American Civil War. The American Civil War was between the northern and southern states. The North won the war, and slavery ended in the South.